count for data sub count. We're just trying to look at the what's it called, the suggestion Mr. Musa proposed in our first class. Like saying data sub count might be okay if equals to if any value here, equals to if any value here is greater than 0, then that means assign it a value 1, then if not, name it 0. So if you want to do it this way, 1st of January. Where is 1st of January coming from? Equals to if the value here is greater than 0. If value is true, use 1. And if it is false, use 0. Okay, maybe I might need to change that thing. Okay, let's see if it gives me that again. 1st of January. Okay, let me go to home and change it to general and see. So it's 1. So I think this is where the problem is on long date. It's on long days. As I change to general specific format, so it's 1 here. So we can see that here, everything here, we have it as 1. And look at here, where data was not subscribed, we have it at 0. Okay, now for we can do that for this column as well. Bonus used, insert, might take a little time. Okay, count of, though this won't be the final solution. Okay, this is still, so apologies. So my system has a lot of load on it. Okay, bonus used count. Now we just use the same if condition equals to if the value here is greater than 0, let's give it a 1, then else give it a 0. Then I'm sure we have looked at the if statement extensively. So I don't think we should have much problems with what I have done, as in with this if statement. It's a very simple if statement, So you can see that here that in this, look at these 3 instances where bonuses were used. You can see that they've been assigned 1, and where bonuses were not used, assigned 0. But we still come back to the same issue. We still need to summarize. Do you know why? Because there are some months, look at this customer. So there's no way we can evade summarizing, because where we have more than 6, let me scroll down. Is everything here? This is all the data. We had 18 now, count. We had some count that were 18. And I didn't filter now. I hope I have not filtered out some. Let me see. I'm just trying to check the count, to see where we have counts. Is it down, down, down? Oh, I did not get to the... No, there's nothing here again, though. Oh, am I too fast?
No, it's in the middle somewhere.
Yeah, I'm too fast.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't want to filter because my, the way my filtering, lags. Like this now. Look at this situation now. Is it the same account number? Yes. Are we... No, this, remember, this is the column. This H column is the column for data subscribed. You can see a repetition here. Now, are you going to count it as now are you going to count it as data subscribed or not? Because if you are saying, okay, where you see 0, if you put another condition where you see 0, assuming there's no subscription, where you see 1, count it as a subscription or count it as subscription for that month, because we are treating this case now month wise, month by month. So for the month of July, for this subscriber, are we going to treat it as data was subscribed or not? Because we have a 0 and a 1 occurring in the same month. So we still need to summarize the data. So we cannot just use counts, to get an answer. We still have to summarize this data and add these two together. We're still going to, we're still going to add this together, and eventually we have this as 1 plus 0. And Excel, to summarize, you have to use the pivot table. When we pivot this now, it will summarize it for us, So to show that we are still going to use the same process we are using in Power Query. That's just to show that the two processes are close, though they follow different paths. So that's just what we want. I just want us to, to clarify. So going back to Power Query, now we are here now. We've summarized the data, and each account is appearing just 6 times now, because our grouping means we don't want any customer to appear more than 6 times. So that means a customer appears once for each month in view. And there are times that a customer may appear for less than 6 times. Maybe he only subscribed, just 3 times. Maybe he joined in, we are looking at I think it's from July to October, or no, to December, I think. So if the customer joined in August, definitely we don't expect to see data for July, So that's what I mean. Is that July here? I think it's from August. No, July, right? This is 7 here, it's July. So that means if a customer joins in August or September, that means we won't find data for some month for that customer. So I just want us to have that at the back of our mind, So now we want to count, and normally to count, to count in Power Query is under statistics. You add column, under add column, under statistics, there is a count values here, but there is an issue here. There's an issue there. You can't just count like that. And this is what I mean. Counting, the way counting, we have to count. We have to create a column to counting. So let's just understand the task at hand. When you want to count, we have to create, it has to be like this. Let me go to Excel and explain this a bit, now what we have here is like this. We have our, what's it called? Let me bring it here. We have, this, and this. We have already removed Control C. I hope it will paste it the way I want it. Let me paste special, those values, and see. Okay, good. Now we have something like this in Power Query now. And we have data subs and use bonus. I think there's another one. I think there should be Y months. Let's go back there. We have primary city, account number, customer type, and Y month. Y year month, rather. Primary city, account number. No, this is not here. Abi, is it there? Sorry, I'm just trying to. It might be no have. Primary city, account number, customer type. I was trying to remember that customer type. There is customer type here. Insert. There is customer type. And let me delete this and insert a column here. And we have Y month here. So we have something like this now, in Excel. It's something like this that we have. And in Power Query, I mean to say, let me copy, let me use an example here. Let me just say Lagos. This is hypothetical now. It's not the actual value we have in the data. Just trying to explain something to us, 1004. Okay, let me make it equal account number. Okay, let me use account number. Let me say it's a retailer, and it's a retailer as well. Year, month, let me say 1st 10/2010 or 2020. Okay. See, let me say November now, 2020, the same customer, 15, let's say 15 gig, 25 gig, used and 0 here now. Now, let me say 0. Now, we want to count. Now, to count now, we have to create a new column. Let's say we want to count here, Now, we want to count if this subscriber, subscribed for the month of, let's say count of, we want to count data sub now, we want to count data sub. How many times this customer, had subbed for in the entire process, in the 6 months. Don't forget, I've only chosen 2 months. Let me do 6 months. Sorry, something that will be very close to what we have. Select the 2 and drag this thing down. Okay, good. Something close to what we have. Okay, let's just use this hypothetically now. Now, okay, now we want to count how many times this guy subscribed. That now, that this guy now, this account number subscribed 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? The subscription is 4 times. That's what we need. It's going to be 4 in total. Then we know that bonus used for this guy here. How many times did he use bonus? So this guy used bonus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. Remember the way we counted it? We counted like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. To get 4. We are counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to get 5. There's no way Power Query is going to count like this, because if Power Query has to count, we need to rearrange this data set so that these values, copy, paste. This is how Power Query can count. 1, 2, it's going to count row wise. This is what I mean. It's going to count, Power Query will count like this: 1, 2, 3, 4, and put 4 here. Because Power Query will not count and put 4 underneath. It will not count and put 4 underneath here. If you check the way it is structured, if you are creating a new column here, somewhere here, after this used bonus, I want to count how many times. Now, I've painted a scenario for us here. This is how data, this is just like I'm extracting, how the details of a single customer might look like. So we have it in this pattern, but we cannot count it in this pattern. It's not possible. Power Query cannot count like this. It cannot count downwards. It can only count sideways. So if it has to count this as well, Control C, it will count this way as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. So that is the task we have at hand now. We need to rearrange these entire data sets so that the data subscribed and the data bonuses, would be in this orientation. That means definitely these guys here, these guys here, Control C, will have to be like this for it to make sense. Do you understand what I just painted now? I need to get an answer before I move on, so I don't get to the end and we now come back. Do you understand what I explained?
Let's try that again, sir.
Okay.
Sorry, Mr. DJ, is it similar to on pivot and pivot?
Yes, it's similar to it.
Okay.
It's similar to pivots on pivot. So that's why we actually went through the series first. So I know at every point in time, we might still need to go back to, the series and refresh our memory, because these things can be forgotten easily. I also do go back to those stops, time to time, just to, recollect the concepts, So this is what I mean. We want to count. Now, we want to count. Now, do we all agree with how I got this 4 and 5 here, by counting this and counting this? That we want to know the data source. I have to count 1, 2, 3, 4. We got 4 here. To count bonus used, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got 5 here. So this is straightforward. Now, but our data structure, this is where it is in Power Query. Now, we need to count. And when we are counting, we have to count and put it in a new column. We have to count and put the values, we have these 4 and 5. These two values have to be in a new column behind, somewhere after this used bonus. That is what should happen. That's what will definitely happen. Now, what I said is this. We have the data in this orientation. And when counting is being done, what's it called? Power Query will not count like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, and put 4 here, because it's not creating a new column underneath. Power Query is not going to create, if you have to count, okay, how many times did this guy use bonus? This customer, 1001. He used bonus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And 6, 5 or 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I actually subscribed, sorry. This guy actually subscribed every month of the 6 months. So it is 6. If Power BI counts it, this is 6. If you say it should count, it's not going to put 6 here. That is the truth. It's not going to put 6 here, because what we actually want is use bonus 6 times, and since when it counts, if you say, okay, come here, if we select this entire data set now, we select this entire data set. What's it called? We select, let me do like this, Control A, and we come here as, statistics, count values. Let me just do count values and see what I'm talking about. Let's see what we'll have. You can see it has created a new column here. And how did it arrive at 6 here? Let's allow it finish. It's going to count what are numbers. That's what count values mean. anything that is a number, 0 inclusive, will be counted. That is what count values mean. Let's see, this is 1, 2. Okay, let's start from here. This is 1. Anywhere you see number, it's going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4. No, how do you arrive at 6? Oh, sorry, it's going to count number and what's it called? And text, any value. That's what I meant to say. It's going to count any value, text or number. So everything, there are 6 columns. It's going to count everything. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 with 0. So it's going to count everything. That's why it's going to get 6. So everything we have here will be 6. That's everything I'm going to have. We're only going to have 6 here. That means it's going to count everything you have here for us. And that's not what we want. You know, we only want to count where we only want to count the values in this column. We want to count the values in this column and this column. So I know that there is no way it's going to count and put underneath here. So it's going to count and put here. So the best way, the only solution we have is to reorientate the data set so that what we want to count would be arranged in this way, so that you can say, okay, count values that are, what's it called? Let's count all the values here. You're going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to put 6 here. You know, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's going to put 6 here. But we know that it's only counting what? Data subscribed. So there's a way, we must look for a way to get data subscribed here. And look for a way to get bonus used here. So we know that, used. So we know that what is counting here, what is being counted here, you know, look for a way to get bonus used to this, instead of having Lagos or retailer here, you know, in the column, you know, as the, what's it called, as the values in this column, you have to have data subscribed and bonus used here. And this date here has to be on top here. You know, when we have something like this now, we know that, okay, is count this now. If anything is counting here, this 6 represents the counts for data subscribed. And this 6 here represents the counts for bonus used. Unlike what we have here, that the count here, you know, the count here represents everything. It's counting this text retailer, it's counting the date, it's counting everything we have here. So that is what, so we have this, what we have to do. We have to reorientate our data to be in this way. And if you remember, that means we want to get this data bonus, data sub, and use bonus. We have to get it to the, you know, from subject, we have to make them items. These are items here, values. We have to degrade them from being headers to subjects or to items. You know, from being here, we have to bring them here. That is the thing. We have to bring these 2 guys here from here. So that's the first stage we have to do. If you remember what we said, when we are converting headers to items, from headers, we are making them values. Do you still remember, or who still remembers what transformation process we said we need to use to achieve that?
Would that be pivoting?
No, it's the other way around. Pivoting is converting.
Promoting.
Yeah, you are very close. Pivoting is converting items to headers, the other way around. So converting headers to items. So we know that we want to make these 2 now items now. So we select this and select this. Sorry, select this, press Control and select this. Meanwhile, let me remove this count I did. So it doesn't interfere with we don't need this. Let me remove it. It doesn't interfere with our transformation. So okay. Come on, I just removed count now. Wow, just to remove count is now, okay. This and this, select this, then is transformation. We are transforming these two. So we go to our transform. On pivot, only the selected columns. Or we can use on pivot column, anyone we like. The two will work. So on pivot columns, let's see what will happen now. You can see that we are getting closer. We have these two guys now, data and sub. We have them here now. That is the first stage. We have them here now. That is the first stage. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Now, the next stage we have to do now, remember that's why I painted this picture. We need to get this guy, the date up. We need to get this date up. We'll do that and stop there for today. Now, like I said, like I told, Mr. Amusa suggested, we want to change this, we want to make these guys, this item, headers. Just this guy here in this column, year, month. So we select this, come here. No, where is pivot? It's transformed here. Where is pivot here? Pivot should be somewhere here. Okay, pivot column, yes. We want to pivot this column. So we pivot this column. Yes, now you want to pivot it now. It's going to ask you a question. Anytime you want to pivot, it ask you a question. Now, this pivoting, now, which values you have in the table that are attached to this column you want to pivot? We know that which values in this table. We know that for the 1st of October, let me come back. For this date now, this date, look at this date, 1st of September 2019, it has a what value? It has a data sub value. This same first date, this same date rather, 1st of September, has a bonus use value. So there are two values attached to this year month column. So each, if you go, that's where it's repeated all the way down. Each of these dates have two values, data sub and use bonus attached to them, all the way down. So there is a value attached to this date. So the values have to go with the column you are pivoting. You should have that in mind. So let's select it. You come to pivot column. It's going to ask you, you go to advanced now. What are we aggregating? And these values are in the value. These values we are aggregating. Okay, these two values we are aggregating, they are in the value column. So we don't even need to come here. Let's forget this. Come here, they are in the value column. Use the names in column 1M to create new column. Where is the value column? It is here. This is the value. The value that is attached to this year month, where is it? Is in the value. That's why I chose this value. If it was another name, we would have chosen that name. Because it is value, that's why I'm choosing value. So when you now create, you click OK, everything will reorientate itself so that the sub and they will be, I think I should even, okay, let's do it. Let it finish and let's see what will happen. it's a long, it's a very not long, it's an extensive process. So, it's doing a lot of computation and all. So it takes a few seconds, You can see it. Look at what's happening now. It's arranged everything. You can see our dates on top now. You can see it's close to what I drew here. Look at the dates here. Look at our data sub. Look at this thing. You can see it's exactly what it's giving us. It's our date. For this date, this is data sub, and this is the what's it called? This is the use bonus. For who? For this customer. Each customer is appearing twice. The same customer, the same customer. This is the account number. This is for data sub. This is for bonus used. The same information, data sub, bonus used. So it has reorientated the whole thing to make it easy for us to count. In that, now, if I count anything I count on this row here now, any number I count on this row here, just numbers. If I say count just numbers, it's only, I know we're only counting data sub. If you count any number here, if you say just count numbers here, we are only counting bonus used. Unlike previously, when we counted, we are counting dates with it. We are counting dates with it. We can say, and we know that it is for a specific customer. Anything counted here is for a specific customer because customers have been attached to this. I think we just stop here, So, so we don't say a lot today. So we don't get confused, Do you understand what happened? Yeah. Please, I need feedback, so we know what we've done really made sense or not,
Mr. Gide, 1 minute, please.
Yes.
Just a quick one. When you pivot the dates column, I noticed, is there any effect on the value column? Because the value, I think it also is not in the right column like it was before you did the pivoting.
Before I did the pivot, it was like this.
Yes.
It was like this.
Yes.
Value. There is, for each customer, there is a value for data sub, and there's a value for bonus used for each date. You can see that the date is repeated. So that means, let's see what happened now. For this customer 1001, right? For 1st of September, data sub is 125. 1001, 1st of September, data sub is 125, Abi? Yeah. Let's see what happened. We will need to look for that customer. I'm sure it's somewhere down. Let's look for customer 1001. Let me type it and see. 100, how many zeros are there? 5. I hope so. Maybe I didn't get the number of zeros correctly. Let me scroll down, look for it, for the guy. Maybe I'm too fast. How many zeros? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, now. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Let's go back and see. It's not 1001. It's more than 5 zeros. 1, 2, 3. Can someone, is it 5 zeros?
Yes, please? I think it's 5.
5. This is 1, 2, 3, 4,
Right.
5, right?
Yes.
And 1 Onitsha. Okay, let me search with Onitsha. Load more. The guy might be down. I'm sure the guy might just be somewhere down, it won't load the first 1,000. So that's the challenge. I'm trying to see how to answer your question, So when it's the transmission that happened, it's just redistributing the same data, that's it's trying to load everything. Okay, Onitsha, okay. I hope, the data set is quite large, so it's taking some time. So let's go back and why that is happening. It's not even going to allow me go anywhere. Sorry, class, for the extension. Okay, Onitsha, 1,000. This is the guy. 1,001 now. You can see that this is after we did our transformation.
Okay.
You can see 1st of September is up top now. Data subscribe is 125.6. 1st of September, data subscribe 125.6. The same thing we had here, but here it was like this. I'm going back. Before this thing hangs finally. Okay, before 1st of September, data subscribed. It was like this on a straight line.
Yes.
1st September, data sub 125.6. Now it has rearranged it to 1st of September, data subscribe 125.6 for this same customer. Is that clear?
Yes.
So it is just transformation. It's going to arrange it correctly. That value, this value we have here, this value column is not going to exist again. We have said use this value column and distribute the data accordingly. That's why when we, after getting here, we did not see the value again. It has splitted the value into 2. The value, we still have the attributes that we had here. That is still here, attribute and value. Because we did not, we pivoted this column. We said pivot this date, using the values in this value column. That was the instruction we gave it. Pivot this date by distributing the values in this value column according to the date. So it now got here. It took the date and put the 2 values underneath it. That what just happened. It took this date, because they are the same date. Look at this date. It took this date, made it a header, and put these 2 values under it. And still retain this data bonus, this column. I did not touch it. Remember, I did not pivot this. So this one was still repeated as data, and this, was still repeated. But what just happened was it took this date that is repeating twice, it's repeated twice, it made it 1, and put the 2 values, under the date. That, okay, what's the need repeating the same date twice? Make it 1 day and put the 2 values, make it just 1 day and put the 2 values under the same date. That exactly, and did that for all the dates. So that's what happened.
Thank you.
I know it's a bit tricky, but like I always say, it comes with, it gets more understood when we practice it. When you practice it, you do it over and over again, you understand the concepts. It's not as difficult as it appears. All right, thank you everyone for coming tonight. I hope you can find time to practice and come with questions. Sister Debbie, over